Hello everyone, my name is Nabeel and I'm doing this project on foster home placement. Foster care is a protected service offered when children must be removed from their homes for a planned temporary period of time. Um, the primary goal of foster care is to reunify families, aiming towards reintegration to um, uh, it does eventually turn into an adoption service. Some of the children who have been abused and neglected need alternative care for their families experience a crisis, and the needs of the child have to be met. So therefore, foster care intervenes to the child's life to provide a safe haven for them. Some statistics on foster care. On an average day, about 400,000 children are in an out-of-home care facility or institution. During the last year, there was about 650,000 children or they spent some time in out-of-state, out-of-home care in the United States. The amount of children entering foster care remains on average. They remain in foster care for on an average of nearly 2 years. Um, Despite the common perception that most children in foster care are young children, the average age of children in foster care is over 9 years old. The median amount of time children spend in foster care increased between 2000 and 2011 from 12 to 13.5 months, and 10% of those children in foster care have languished there for over 5 years. Too many children are trapped in foster care. We have about 15% of them living in institutions and group homes. The rest are in foster homes. Nearly half of the children in foster care have chronic medical problems, and 80% of those children have serious emotional problems. About half of the children that are under 5 years old have developmental delays. More than 60,000 children living in foster care have had their biological parental rights permanently terminated. The assumption is that once parental rights have been terminated, the state should work as rapidly as possible to ensure that the child is safely in a new adoptive home and that the adoption is finalized. Um, the Florida Safe Harbor Act amends provisions of Chapter 39 specifically to provide for those children who are sexually exploited and who are victims of sexual abuse. This act of sexual abuse but the U.S. Department of Justice calls CSEC one of the most obscure, egregious forms of child abuse in the United States and North America today. Some facts about disparities. In 2011, more than half of the children entered foster care were children of color. It's not surprising due to the fact that minorities have a greater chance of living in poverty, which links stress factors to reasons why parents can't support their children, resulting in a child being sent to a foster care home. I had an interview with Lisa Ann from FCC, social service, a foster care social service, and I asked her a few questions. I'm just going to go over them briefly. She talked about the positive and negative effects of foster care on infants specifically. She said some of the positive effects entailed protection from harm due to the unique situation. They adapt to the primary caregiver easily due to their early staging and development. It helps the infant's development by providing the care they lack due to physical abuse and neglect. Some negative effects, though, is that once the infant has developed and acquired the triggers from the mother, seen, smelled, or touched the mother, it complicates the care of the infant. A case plan is given by the mother, but the mother herself might not get adequate support financially with property finding and some mothers don't even know how to properly take care of infants. So those who adopt have a hard time adjusting to an infant. Average length of time of an infant that is placed in a foster home is nearly 2 years. Some roadblocks in placement. Often infants are wanted for adoption, not for temporary support. That is the greatest roadblock in adoption for infants. As infants jump from one caregiver to the next, the placement services don't do a good job of keeping communication between caregiver 1 and caregiver 2. That's especially apparent in Florida. Due to numerous placements, babies are left with some traumatizing memories and triggers such as smells, sights, sounds, but they can't vocally express themselves, obviously, due to their early staging development. The blood relationship of the caregiver to the infant in care does increase security of attachment due to the fact that relatives would strive to great lengths to provide for the infant due to their blood relation. Relatives do everything they must as a blood relationship strengthens security attachment. Infants are more likely to achieve and thrive successfully with relatives rather than a stranger. Though some drawbacks would stem from family feuds and other conflicts complicating the care of the child, but the overall better placement with relatives. I have a short video here about a certain case. A young infant named Chatoya Chatelaine, who passed away at the age of 17 months due to opiates found in her system. Her mother, Charisma McDonald, neglected and abused this child, though when she was born with opiates in her system, social services took the child and um, immediately founded a foster family for her. She thrived at the age of 12 months. She gained weight, withdrew from her drug addiction, though when she was given back to her biological mother, everything went downhill and she was abused, neglected. Um, she was suffering from malnutrition, and eventually social services would check up on the mother, though would neglect to see the infant, and things went downhill from there. Here's a short video on Chatoya Chatelaine.
I still hear your voice when you sleep next to me. I still feel your touch in my dream. Forgive me my weakness, but I don't know why. Without you, it's hard to survive. 'Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling. And every time we kiss, I swear I could fly. Can't you feel my heartbeat fast? I want this to last. Need you by my side. Want you in my life. Your arms are my castle, your heart is my sky. They wipe away tears that I cry. Oh, the good and the bad times, we've been through them all. You make me rise when I fall. 'Cause every time we touch, I get this feeling. And every time we kiss, I swear to fly. Can't you feel my heart beat fast? I want this to last. Need you by my side. 'Cause every time we touch, every time we kiss, I reach for the sky. Can't you feel my heartbeat so I can't let you go? Want you in my life. Every time we touch, I feel ecstatic. Every time we kiss, I reach for the sky. Can't you feel my heartbeat so I can't let you go? Want you in my life.
That was the story of Chatoya Chatelaine, who died from criminal negligence. Though her record stated that she died from a bacterial infection called impetigo that was around her mouth, which prolonged malnutrition due to the fact that she couldn't feed due to the irritation around her mouth. Though I have a statement from William from justiceforkaylee.org where he states that that's an outrage. Chatoya had abuse marks, broken ribs, and died from neglect. The social services even took the child at birth due to opiates. The little girl should have never been given back. This mother should have gotten the death penalty or at least life in prison with no parole. Their laws are no better than ours in protecting our little angels. Opiates are a group of drugs. In this case, alkaloids were morphine from the mother's heroin abuse, which eventually destroyed this child's life. At 17 months old, this child has left this life. Here are my references for this project. Here's some websites that I use for my statistics and the story of Chateau Chatelaine from Canada.com, Star Phoenix, and that ends my project.